Some interesting news dropping and data mining happening about the new upgrade systems at Midnight. We're not just getting rid of flight stones and changing the crest names. There's actually more happening than we first originally thought. So I'm going to get into some of that and then a bunch of other news today that hit during Reset just yesterday. So let's check this stuff out. Warlords of Draenor Time Walking is now live. That's right. You can go do all that stuff and get yourself your little cache of Koreshi treasures. I believe that gives you a piece of tier gear, possibly non-tier gear, I should say. Normal Mana Forged Omega item level, non-tier gear. So you can go do this, do some of the old WoD stuff. Obviously, that means all the old WoD transmogs are now available for purchase again with your whatever they're called, the Time Rift Stones. I can't remember any currencies in this game anymore. So you can go get that stuff, your Time Warped badges, I should say, and enjoy doing some WoD time walking. Besides that, Warbound drops and disrupts for more trash at the Mana Forge Omega. That's right, rank 11 now. We're hitting rank 11 in the chart, and I actually need to get my rank up because I missed last week because of the vacation. So we're now ranked 11. This means we're getting the Mana Forge Vandals rank 11 headhunting. Horrors of the Forge. Means that now named elite enemies inside of the Mana Forge Omega Raid now have a chance to drop Warbound items when defeated each week. So this is great for people with alts. This one will give you a lot more loot when it comes to your Warbound shit. And yeah, help you level up alts in preparation for Midnight. I think that's kind of what this is all about. Besides that, there is another thing that you're going to get here. What is it? The Headhunting Horrors Forge. This powerful elites will now give you a chance to drop. Yeah, I just fucking read that. And Mana Forge Hacking 3. What is Mana Forge Hacking 3? Does it say it here? Often lieutenants, da-da-da, okay, yeah. What's the rank 3 of Mana Forge Hacking? I have no fucking idea. I don't know what that is. I'd have to go into the game and check it out. They didn't put it in the article. Mana Forge Vandals? Nope, nothing. Okay, whatever, we're moving on, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, more stuff for your alts. That's great. Also, unintended druid forms have now been removed. That's right, the people who got the nice druid forms from the Mage Tower, upon reset, you lost them. So I'm sorry, not sorry. Blizzard went ahead and took those back. That means no Sparkly Tiger for you anymore. They're not going to give it to us, guys. So you can cry yourselves to sleep about it. The Mage Tower shit's just not going to happen. It is what it is. Also, DPS and healer buffs coming. We don't know what this means for Legion Remix, but we do know that right now Blizzard has recognized there is a tanking meta. And by tanking meta, I mean they witnessed Samiccus tanking his way through the entirety of Legion Remix, one-shotting everything, and they're like, this man's too powerful, we got to buff everything else. What I am happy about with this blue post, though, is they didn't decide to just nerf tanks. Instead, it's a remix event. You should be overpowered. So they're going to buff DPS and healers. Those buffs are coming out in Phase 2 on Tuesday, so we'll see how all that pans out. That just means you're going to hit harder and heal harder, I'm assuming. So good thing for the DPSers and healers out there currently running through Legion Remix. Also, a new 12-month subscription. That's right, new 12-month subscription mounts being given out here, and pets. Blizzard has announced the new 12-month subscription rewards. There's some secretiveness to it right now. If I remember right, didn't we see like a flaming horse with a feather on the top for China not too long ago? I'm pretty sure that's what this shadowy figure is, but there's two mystery shadowy figures still to be announced for what you're going to be getting, but you're also getting this badass Astral Arco mount, who does some crazy animations, fitting again with a bunch of, Year of the Bull. I don't know what the hell we're in right now in China anymore, but yeah, usually these astral things have kind of become a theme here with some of these 6-month and 12-month sub mounts, so yeah, nice cool animation there. You're also going to get some of the mounts that were previously made available with old 6-month subs. So this badass looking Dragon Boy and the Murloc mount. I don't have any of these. I don't sub for 6 months, but yeah, Year of the Beaver, right. But you'll be able to get this stuff if you didn't previously sub for 6 months. It looks like you'll be able to go back and get some of these older mounts that were available, plus this bull riding mount and the mystery horse mount. So go ahead and sub to your heart's desire. Finally, the most important thing of the day, guys, changes to the upgrading system. Bigger changes than we initially expected. So if you're a little bit behind on the news right now, Blizzard already announced your Valor Stones going away. So we've had these Flight Stones and Valor Stones since Dragonflight, since this crest system came out, and it's going away. So no longer we're going to have to deal with the Valor Stones, which I'm happy about. I've been asking about that for a long time now. Also, the name changes, right? We're no longer going to have like the extra Omega, Mana Forge, Johnny Boy, Hanging Schlong, Crest, Gilded, Fucker Boy, Crest. I don't know what. The naming system was completely messed up. It was always confusing to me. I just looked for the word Gilded a lot of times to upgrade shit. At this point, they're changing it up. Right now, it's going to be Adventurer, Champion, Myth, and Heroic. That's it. The crest is going to match the name of the gear that it upgrades. Fantastic. That's exactly what we needed. But they're also changing how the upgrading works. So no longer will your tracks be up to 8, okay? It's going to be 6 of 6 with the final 2 pieces of each track overlapping with the next one. Now, that's not something new here. We previously had overlaps with item level. You upgraded your champion level gear, it would get into heroic level, item level stuff when it came to lower level heroic items. But the way the upgrades now work is it scales, okay? And the crests that you use to upgrade, so say at like 5 of 6 champion, or I should say 5 of 6 heroic, right? Previously, it would require what the crests that would be required to upgrade myth gear to upgrade that piece of heroic gear at this point, right? You would need gilded crests to push the hero gear further into the mythic item levels. That's no longer the case. Now, heroic crests only upgrade heroic gear, and myth crests only upgrade myth gear. So there's no longer that overlap there. So you kind of make decisions now based on just that piece of gear and where it currently sits. You don't have to worry about not being able to upgrade your myth gear if you get it because you spent it all on heroic gear. But there's a catch. The leveling, or I should say the amount of crests required to upgrade now scales. So now it's going up based on where you are. So the early upgrades will cost you less crests. So you can see right here, your hero track gear, if you're 2 of 6, you're going to need 10 to get up to that point, and then 20 to get to 3 of 6, 30 to get to 4 of 6. By the time you're at the end here, you're spending 50 hero crests to upgrade to that 6 of 6. So each time you upgrade, it's going to cost you more and more crests. Now, is this Blizzard trying to keep us on the treadmill a little bit longer, forcing us to grind out more crests? We're not sure yet because we don't know how quickly we're going to get the crests either. Right, we don't know how much we're going to get in our weekly vault. We don't know how much we're going to get at the end of a Myth Track run, or I should say, a Mythic Plus run, or how they're going to divvy them out. Arendi, thank you for the gifted sub to Good Shepherd. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the tier 1. Now, Good Shepherd, Death Knight of our Scourge. So those decisions are going to have to be made in terms of, do you want to continue to push your heroic gear up, or do you want to maybe save it and upgrade another piece of gear that's currently sitting at 2 of 6 up to 3 and 4, right? Because right now, to push to that from that 5 of 6 to 6 of 6, it's going to cost you 50 heroic crests. Whereas if you have another piece of heroic gear, you could take it up to 2 of 6 and then 3 of 6 with the same amount of crests. So there's going to be some balancing on that end. The other thing is, now that you're gathering your myth crests, when you get myth track gear, you don't have to really worry about, as I said before, missing out on upgrading that myth track gear because you spent it all in heroic, because those crests are completely separate now. So that, I think, is better. In terms of how it's going to scale towards the end, with the upgrade, in terms of needing 50 crests now to upgrade to that final level, we'll have to see. What I think it means is we're going to see quicker item levels being boosted up early on in a season. Right, everyone's seemingly going to boost their item level pretty quickly, but what we don't know is how long is it going to take at the end of the season now. I think we're going to see kind of people trickling out a little bit towards the end, and it's going to take much longer to upgrade those final, 5 of 6 and 6 of 6 tracks. Overall, I think the system's better. I still think this is the better way to do it. No longer are you going to see people just sitting on 4 of 6 heroic because they don't want to spend gilded crests anymore. They want to save them for their myth track gear. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore, because now your crests are simply tied to the gear that they upgrade, which is great. The other thing that we don't know yet is how the item level upgrading system is going to work, right? Because right now we have that item level cap where when every slot hits a certain item level, you no longer really have to use crests, you use Valor Stones. Those are gone now. Valor Stones are gone. So we're not sure if we're going to see like some kind of crest discount or something if you hit a certain item level. Again, the system is still just being data mined, so we don't know everything behind it. Again, and we don't know how many crests we're going to be getting for everything we're doing. So we'll see how this all works. Also, Ghost, you mentioned the cap. We don't know if the cap's still going to be there. Maybe there's no cap. That'd be great. I would love that. We'll see how all that works out. Obviously, Blizzard likes to keep us on the treadmill a little bit longer, so maybe there will still be a cap. And yeah, 50 crests at the end of an upgrade cycle will likely take you longer to get. But overall, as I was saying before, I think this is a better system. The naming system's obviously better. Valorstone's being gone, that's better. Keeping things tied to their specific tracks is better because then you can just upgrade as you go rather than worrying about what you're going to get next. But overall, it might take us a little bit longer to gear out towards the end of an expansion. Hey, Sam, that system sounds better. I agree, Tech Tim. I think this system sounds better. And like I said, we don't have all the details yet on how many crests we're going to get for things, so maybe the scaling works out in that, hey, we're getting more crests now, so it's actually not going to take longer. But overall, my favorite thing about this is that you're going to only use heroic crests for heroic gear. There's no longer that worry about overlap and, like I said, saving for the next piece of gear. It's best. The best thing to do is just upgrade right now. The main decisions are going to be whether you upgrade that 2 of 6 to a 4 of 6, or whether you go for that 6 of 6 heroic at the very end to push that gear to the top. The naming and the crest set for certain tier types is good. Yeah, totally. It's more intuitive now, right? You don't need a fucking explanation or a Wowhead article to tell you what the hell this shit means anymore. So that's great. So far, I like the new changes. I do too. Also, the crest conversion system, right? We don't even know how that's going to work. Because right now it's tied to, again, to item level. I'm assuming that's how it would be. But it would still be nice to know how many champions crests is it going to take to convert up to heroic crests? Is it the same exchange rate? We'll see how that works too. So that is all for today in terms of news.